Hello guys, and welcome to this week tutorial. In this week tutorial we will continue our JavaScript series, and this week we create an advanced gallery with JavaScript. As you can see, this is our finished project right here. We had these nice images for the gallery, and then when we click it, we get this pop-up with all these advanced option with the arrow right here. We get the caption, the image, and on top right here we get this option, for example full screen, a zoom out, zoom in, and a download option. So let me close out again so you can see everything again. So once I click on any of these, get this nice animation, the caption, and we get these. If I click the right arrow key right here, we go to the next one, and the caption also update. See, this is 3. I click again, it say 4, and the image zoom out again. Click this, say 5. Click, say 6. You can see this is the last one right here, and watch what happens when I click next again. I go to the first one. As you can see, this right here. If I click the back, I go back all the way to the last one, and so on and so forth. And if I click, for example, I want to zoom out, I click the zoom out option. As you can see, it's zooming out, and it stop. Once it stop right here at certain level, this one gray out that we can't click anymore, but when I can zoom in again, click it. As you can see, and it stop. And I can close this one, bring it back, and click this one, and I went back to the normal. Also, let's see if I zoom in and I click the next one, we go back to our normal size again. And we can download this by clicking the download. As you can see, I already has one download right here, but come right to my download folder. I can download that right here. I'll say cancel. If I click back, for this one is image 5. If I try to download it, you can see 5. So it dynamically change to the image that we currently on, and this also change. And to close it, if all I had to do, click on the overlay and I close again. As you can see, this nice animation, change, go back. So that's what we'll be creating this week tutorial. We won't be writing the HTML and CSS since this is a JavaScript tutorial. So there will be a link in the description where you can go click and download the starter file that has the HTML and the CSS and empty JavaScript, and we start writing. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello and welcome back. My name is Marius, and this channel I create web design and development tutorial, and I release tutorial every week. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. And I said in the introduction, we'll be creating our advanced gallery with our HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this will be the final project. So one thing that I forgot to tell you is about the download option. In order for this one to work, you must be on the server. If you try to open it with just from your local folder right here, as you can see, this just the local for my D drive right here, it won't work. It will just go to the link. If I click this, just go to the image, and you can just right click and say save as image. So if you want to get the full feature, be able to download it, it must be on the server. So that's something I forgot to tell you. Okay, now we can get started from scratch. I already opened up my, if you download the folder from the link in the description. Open up, you see your HTML right here, and link to the icon library, link to the CSS. You see these two div, one for the Java and one for the container, which hold all of this. Gallery, it had a row that display at flex, and then inside of it had each one of these individual called gallery, Lightbox, backs, and the first one had active class. It had this data index 0. I'll explain this one later. And the data file size, this is where we put our full image. The data caption for the gallery caption, and then the actual image, the smaller version. So we have total of 6 of them inside of the row. And then the gallery Lightbox pop-up is this one. It hold the options, these on the top right here. You can see full screen, zoom out, zoom in, and download. So that's the option. And then we had the actual content, this side right here, which is inside the view, full view, where the image. I comment this one out. We dynamically use JavaScript to put the image right here, and the caption we go right here. Okay, so you can just delete the caption if you choose to. And then right here we had a navigation with these two arrows right here, and that's it, and link to the JavaScript at the bottom right here. And I'll be using a live server. So if you want to use that tool, go to the extension and just type live server, and this option right here, that's what I'm using, this one, to use this live server right here. So once you got that, what you can do is just right click, choose open with live server, and then it will open it for you. Now if you click on this, it won't work because the JavaScript is not there yet, so this won't work. So I will say this one real quickly. Inside the CSS, I just linked to the Google font, and then the basic CSS right here, and then the gallery styling. You can go through it and see it and make it responsive right here with the media query. So now we can start with our JavaScript, start making it work. So first thing, we're gonna create some variable to hold all this that we need. So the first one is the Lightbox itself. So this one, so then to grab this one. So create a constant called Lightbox, which should be document, the query selector. We grab the class gallery Lightbox, and then we create another one. Then we're gonna grab all of this. So we're gonna say gallery, I call it gallery box. It refer to each individual of these. So there are total 6. So since we're inside of the gallery Lightbox right here, all of this, we can just grab this one and grab children. So we can just say, instead of say document again, just say Lightbox query selector all, because we want to grab all of them. And I say gallery, I have a class gallery Lightbox 2 underscore box, like this. Now if I cancel this dialog, say gallery box, right click here, choose inspect, we get a node list, and you can see all our gallery. We have total 6, but we want to make it an array. So to turn this to an array, all you have to do is say array from, and I wrap this inside this, and if I save it, now we get an array. I see it's an array. So I close this one out, and after that we will grab the actual pop-up, this one that will pop up. So called Lightbox pop-up, which will be document that query selector, not all this time, and we're grabbing this. We already finished with this one, so I can just close this one. Now we're grabbing this side here, so I can just copy that. Since it's a class, make sure put a period right here. After that, we want to grab the option header. So have option header, which is called this one right here. So I'm going to copy this class name. It will be Lightbox pop-up, since it's inside of this, the query selector. After that, we're going to grab the link inside of all of this. We're going to grab all of this. Now you can see we all have a class called option link. Option link is because of the anchor element. So when you click it, it will reload the page, refresh the page. So that's why we will use this one to start the default option. So we're going to grab all of them. So we can just say constant options link, and we can use a little bit advanced selector right here. Since we are inside this, all of this, we can just say, and you can say Lightbox array to array from option header the children, and this will give us select all of them and group them in an array. So I say cancel the log option links, inspect, we get an array of 4 because we don't have total of 4. The full screen, zoom out, zoom in, and download. Now next one, now we grab again. Now we grab a full screen option. So I say full constant full screen option. We will be option header, the query selector, I had the class full screen. Then we do it for the download, zoom in, zoom out, all of that. So we just in the visuals you can just press the shift alt down arrow key to duplicate it. So that's full screen download option, and this will be download. I don't think we'll be using this one, but we just select it for now. Then we have our zoom out option, which will be header class zoom out and then zoom in option. We had a class zoom in. And then after this one, we create not a constant but a let come zoom level, and we set this one to 1 for now. And then we say another let zoom increment, so zoom inc I set to 0.05. This zoom level is the initial zoom level, and the increment how much we want to zoom in or zoom out every time we click either the zoom in or zoom out. That's the increment. Now create a constant for the full view. Now we finished this one. Now we're getting inside this full view right here. So full view container. So you're right here. So I'm just grab this one. So we have lights, box pop-up, that query selector, and we put this right here. And then we have another cons full view, which will hold the actual view, the full image, which should be lights, box pop-up, dark query selector, which should be the full view. And then we're gonna have a caption, full view caption, which will be Lightbox pop-up, the query selector, which will be the P paragraph. After this, now we move to the navigation. This now we finish all of this. Now we move to our navigation. So we create a constant again, our left arrow, which will be lights, box pop-up, that query selector, and it has class called arrow 2 dashes left. I will duplicate this and I choose set from left to right, and this will be right here. So that's that. Now we want to select the active one, the one that is active, and you take a look inside our container. The row, the first one had the active class, which is this one. We want one of them to have the active class. You can change it to any others, but we want one of them to have active class by default. So we're gonna select that. So let's active. The reason why I use a let here and not const is because we want to change this active class. It can change, but a constant we don't want to send it to anything else after we declare it right here. So for example, we cannot come down here and say, for example, we say right arrow equals let's say 2. We cannot do that. Let's say console dialog right arrow, save this, inspect. As you can see, we get an error. Assignment to constant variable, it cannot change. But let's say I say let right here, it changes. So that's the difference between the const and let. So I'll go back to the let active, close this one out. Our active will be the Lightbox. So right here, first one, Lightbox, the query selector, and we want to grab all of this with the active class. So I'm just copy this, can copy this, and make sure once get here, put the active class in the box. So something like this, as you can see. Make sure there's no space here or there together, because we're looking for the gallery box that has the active class. So those two need to be together. Now we will create some other variable that we leave empty for now. We're just going to declare it. First one will be next gallery. The second one, prev gallery. The third one will be the gallery direction, and the fourth one will be index. We will populate this as we go. So if you want to take some time to write down this variable, you can pause the video and read it or write it. So once you're ready, then continue. So let me close this one out. So let's say once we click it, we get the one that we click, we get these 4 image, and we get a caption. And once you hover over the download, it gives you the link, the path to this full image. We get this arrow. When we click this one, we go to a next image. When you click this one, go to a previous one, and the caption updates also. Let's see if I click the last one show up and the caption says. If I click back, you can see it was this image. When I click again, you can see it's this image. Click again, this image. So we write a function that we're gonna call every time we click any of this, or when we press on the next or the previous arrow key. So let's say function to start Lightbox. So let's go down here, create a constant. we call this function start Lightbox, because is arrow function. And here first we want to get the full size, so get full size image. For that we can create constant, call it full size. And if you take a look inside our HTML, we have this data index and we have also the data full size, which contain the full image. Each one of them do. So how are we going to determine the full size? So we're going to grab the active one, the one that have the active class. So we say active data sets. This is another way to grab the attributes. Data sets, and then we just put the full size. We don't have to put the entire data set right here. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, let me just duplicate this. Come with this one now. Another way to do it, just put active get attribute, and you can specify that to be on data full size. Let me just cancel log. Yeah. So cancel the log full size. Let me do this one also. Let me name this one full size, the plural. So if I save this, right click, inspect, and nothing happened, or cancel, because we have to call this function. So I say start, and we have to Lightbox to make sure this first one is present. So if I save this, oh sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Right click, inspect, right here, as you can see, it does same thing, full size, same thing here. So I'm just gonna leave the first one. That's another way to grab it. Now grab the caption also, or the active one, because only one of the, let me close this one, only one of these will show up right here. We can't have two of them show up at the same time. So only the one that's have the active class will show up right here. So we want to grab that caption. So that's what we did right here by grabbing the full size. Now we're going to grab the caption. So const caption, go active data set again, caption, because we gave it this data caption right here. So let me capitalize this. So that's caption. Now we're going to grab the index to know where we are every time we click, to keep track of where we are. So I say that's why we specify the index right here, because we want to change it every time we click next or the previous, when we click on any of the images. So index, because the active, that data set again, and this one called index, which is right here, data index. Let's cancel the index, save this, Now let's go back here. It says 0, but you can see this. Let me do something again. Let me put 2 right here, which is a number, and index. See, this 2 is blue, but this 0 is put in quotation in yellow. We want this one to be a number and not a string. This is a string. We want it to be a number, so to convert it into a string, to a number, sorry, to convert it to a number, we put the number right here, wrap around it, and we save this. Now you can see it turn to blue. Also, that's one way to do. Another way to do it is put plus sign in front of it, and it's again right here. I will just leave the number, this one. So that's this. Now we want to show the first one. When we click any, we want to show the full image or the active one. So we can grab our full view, which is right here. Our full view is this. We hold this, and we take inside of the HTML full view. We see we had an image right here, so we use JavaScript to dynamically populate this image. So that's what we're gonna do. Place image inside the full view container. So I say full view, the inner HTML, and with the template literal is a backtick. Create my image element with the src, and double quotation. Now we're gonna put the full image. You see this one, we're gonna put it right here. Only $, 2 curly brackets, open and close, and then put our variable name. So full size right here. Save it. Now if you right click this, inspect, and we go inside of our gallery pop-up right here, go inside our container right here, full view, we get the image right here. You see, let's say we move the active from this one and place it on the second one, active. We save it. So we go back right here again. We see it's 2, so we're grabbing the active one. I Control Z this, close this one out. So right now we're just setting up everything, and then after that we're going to do the clicking. Okay, so let's continue. Now we do the caption. Full view, caption, text content, set the text content to be our caption, and just like that. And then we do our option, the zoom in and zoom out. First thing, say options and zoom and zoom. Now we got the download. Also we want dynamically populate the href for that, so we say download option dot href equal full size, and then do our zoom in option, zoom and option Now we're going to set a data attribute to this. Take a look inside the HTML. Right here you can see these are zoom out. We want to give it a data attribute that we're gonna change by JavaScript to be able to manipulate this to zoom in and zoom out. So we say set attribute, and the attribute, the first parameter, the attribute, it will be the name. Call it data zoom level, and the second will be the value. What value we want to put as zoom level, so we should be 1. Then we do the same thing for the zoom out. So I'm just gonna duplicate this, and this is gonna be out, and that's it. Save this. Nothing happens here because we just set up the function that we're gonna use to help us navigate through everything. So now let's work on clicking each one of these. So if you remember, we put all the gallery inside an array, so now we can use the for each loop to loop through all of this. So let's do that. So say gallery box. So we get a gallery box for each, and then we're going to specify the gallery. This gallery represent each individual gallery right here. We want to do something with each one of them. We want to grab each one of them gallery, no longer gallery box but now gallery, add event listener, which should be the click, and we want to call a callback function, passing event using arrow function. First thing I will say that prevent default, in case let's say you want to wrap anchor element around this, it doesn't refresh the page. This one will prevent it from refreshing the page. Now after this one, first thing, remember this one had the active class. So when I click this one, the active class from here was being removed, and this one will have the active class. Click this one will have the active class, the active class from this one will be removed, and so on and so forth. But once this one had the active class and I click again, I don't want the active class to be removed, so I want to prevent that from happening. So all we have to do is say if the gallery, the one we're clicking on, class list content active. First we want to say if it does not contain the active class, if the one we're clicking on does not contain the active class, then if the one we're clicking on does not contain the active class, then the active class must be removed from other one. So let's say this one we're clicking on, this one currently had the active class, this one does not. So we click at this one, this active class must be removed. So that's what we're going to do right here. So I'll put exclamation. So if this does not contain active class, let's say console log does not contain active class. So let's just save this one. So let's say I click this one and put up console, click this one, nothing happened. But as soon as I click this one, say does not contain active class. So in this case, we must remove the active class from this one and add it to this. So that's what we want to do right here. So all we have to say active, which hold the one that have active class currently. So this one, the first one. So active the class list that remove active. Save this, go to the element. Let me do this a little bit. So you see this one has active class. If I click on it, nothing happens. We don't want to remove the active class from the one that already have active class if we clicking on it. But once we click another one that does not have the active class from the previous one must be removed. Now we need to add it to the one that we click. So outside of the if, you see gallery, the class list, the add. Now we're gonna add the active class. Save this. Now let's try. Let me just quickly show this one. So we have active class right here. Nothing happens, but as soon as I click this one, now it's added. Now it's when I click this one, it's added also. Click this one, is added, but it's not removing from all of this. So we must fix that. Because of that, all we have to do, we will grab our next gallery. We said the Lightbox, the query selector, which we represent this new one that have the active class will be the our next. So I'm just gonna copy this one. So it just gallery Lightbox now with the active class, and the new, then we're gonna update the new active. The new active will be the same as this one. So I can just copy this right here. Now if I save this, and let me open up this again. So the first one have active class, nothing happened, but as soon as I click this one, it remove and put it right here. And if I click the third one, it remove from this one and put on the third one. Click this, as you can see. If I go back to the first one, you can see it remove from them. Because we have to update the active class here again. And so now we need to see what we're doing. So when we click it, I need to show. So because of that, we grabbed our Lightbox, Popup, say class list, the add active. Because inside here we already have it. Let me show you right here. Popup. By default say visibility, hidden, opacity 0. We have the active class with opacity 1, visibility visible. So let's try that. When I click this one, it shows, and you can see now none of this work. And when I click this one, no, the first one is still showing. That's when our store Lightbox will show to dynamically start grabbing the one that has the active class. So all we have to do, call start Lightbox. So it says start Lightbox, call it and see. Now I say caption 1. Let me close this one out. Say caption 2, and it shows us the correct image and the correct caption. And take a look at inside of the download. Also it had a correct href for the second image right here. Let me just refresh again. The last one says I grab the last one, refresh it, I grab the third one, as you can see. Now we need to work on the arrows so we can navigate through. So that's this one right here. So just a quick recap. So we just loop through each individual of this, and then we attach event listener to one of them, each one of them, and then we check if the one we click now whether it have the active class or not. If it does not have the active class, then we're going to remove the active class from the previous one that has the active class, and then the one we click on, we add the active class to that one, and then we select the next gallery and the newly active, say newly active gallery. We update it, and then we make our Lightbox pop up, and then we saw dynamically inserting the images with the help of our function right here. So that's the gallery. Now we're going to work on the arrows. So for the arrows, for temporary, I will go right here for the Lightbox right here, light pop up, add the class active so it shows the entire time, so we can work on the arrows. So first thing, I say right arrow, the add event listener. Again, I'm gonna listen to the click event, and then we're gonna run a function called change gallery right. Got this one, the change gallery right. Do the same thing for the left arrow key, and this one be instead of right, as you can tell, left. Save this, nothing fancy. Now we're going to create this function. So first one, change, say function, and just copy this one. And then just make for the second one also. Left. So remember, we have a variable called index, which is the grab the data index for each individual. Let's see, 0 instead, because all of this, when we grab it right here, it turned into an array. An array is 0, and this is always 0, and the first one is 0, second one is 1. So this one is 0, and the next one will be 1. Also that we're gonna increase the index by 1 by just writing index plus plus. So let's just cancel log this index. Let's save this. Right, inspect. If I go to console and press the say 1, go it start with 0. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes on and on and on. So we're gonna grab few things. The first one will be our next gallery, because we want to update it. So we on this one, our next gallery will be our gallery box, which is an array. I'm gonna access it by using our index. So the first one will be 0. So when we click this one, index will be 1. So we grab gallery and then grab the element of the 1 and index. So it should be the second one. We click again, and that will be 2. We grab the next one. So it's gonna be something like 1, 2, 3. So let me just, and down here I'm gonna call our function again, start Lightbox, save it, Like click next. Now you see show the same. The reason why it's showing the same is because we're now removing the active, so every time we click at the active it still remain the same. So say active, because this one currently has the active class. Active, the class list, that remove active, and then we're gonna grab our next gallery and then add a class to it. So next gallery, the class list, the add active, and then we're gonna update the active, the newly active gallery. So active will be this one. So I'm just gonna copy this one, save it. So now let's click next. Then goes and the caption update nicely. Next. Now we are the last one. It doesn't go anywhere. If you look at it, we get errors right here because it can find the next index, because the index as soon as it reach 6, it can find the 7, 8, 9, it can find them all. So let me just cancel out the index every time we click, and you can see what I'm talking about. Let's save this. Now we are 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is 6, but again, and already at 0 base. So once I click again, there's no seventh image, so you can find it. That's why it gives us errors. So we need to check that. See if our index is greater or equals to our gallery box length, this gallery length will return the total amount of element inside the array. In this case, that total 6. So if our index is greater than this or equals to 6, then all we have to do, set the index, we can reset it back to 0. So let's save this one, let's try it again. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you see 5, the last one. When we click again, it went back to 0, as you can see, and went back to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 again. Now we're going to do the same thing for this. So just the same thing. So we can just copy this, all of this. Now since we went backward, we're not increasing the index no more, we're decreasing it. And then this won't be next one, it's gonna be prev, and this remain the same, and this prev. Now let me comment this one out for now. So let's try now. 2. Now we are on the last one. Now let's go back to the previous, and it says 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now again we have error because after 0 going -1, and there's no -1. So make sure we take care of that. So if our index is less than 0, then we need to go back to the last one. So how do we get the last one? That'll be the gallery box length. That give us the total amount minus 1, again because it's 0 base, so it gives us 5. Okay, so if I click the last one, oh sorry, it should be index equals let's try there again. So I click last one, you can see we went back to the last one, 5 3 forward. Now you see that's how it works. Now as you can see right here, we doing pretty much the same thing up here and the same thing down here. And programming, there's a the concept called try, don't repeat yourself, and right now we just repeating ourselves. So let's just create a function that we do all of this, both of this at the same time. Okay, so right here I'll create a new function. Let's just say function called change gallery. To capital G, and this we get a parameter called direction. So every time we call the function, we must pass in the direction. Okay, so we, for example, we're going to the right for this one because the right arrow key on the right. So all we had right here, we can change this one. Is the arrow key. Change. You can pass in right. This is a string. Let's copy this one again. And this one will be left. So what do? Now we want to check what direction we're doing. So we can say if the direction, I can see if the first thing in the index increasing if you're going to the right and decreasing going to the left. So we can use the ternary operation. So I got to say direction right question mark index plus plus colon index minus minus. So this right here is the condition. This is the if right here. If direction is right, then increment the index, else decrement. Okay, we should put a semicolon at the end. Now we want to do the same thing for the this also. Now in this one we can use the ternary because we want to check the direction and also the index value. Now you can say if direction again goes right and index just like this one. Then index we set it back to 0, and the same we will do the same thing for the this one. So just gonna copy, duplicate this one. See direction go left, in this case left, and the index is less than 0. Then we're gonna set the index to this. Okay, so with that, now we go to the next gallery and the previous gallery. But if they go back up here, we create a variable called gallery direction. We will hold either prev or next. Again, you see the value just the same, gallery backs index here. So all we have to do is say gallery direction equals gallery backs index. Okay, and then I'm gonna add active class, class list, add active, and then I'm gonna grab the gallery direction again. That's class list. I'm gonna add the active class also, and then I'm gonna just copy this again because it's just all we're doing. Paste this, and last but not least, store our Lightbox. So let's give this one a try to see. Save this. Now you have the first one. Something is off. Go to not working. Let me see, inspect. There's no error right here. Oh, I see the error right here. As we said, index equals, so we just need one. Save this. Now let's try. It's still giving me the same error. Let me just cancel lag the index to see. I just say one. Oh, silly me. This should be removed. Now add. Now it should work. Now it's working. Sorry about that. This should be removed, not add. So net. Now it's working properly. So everything is working properly now. Now we can close out this one. I made my screen a little bit bigger. So we finished this one. Now let's close. 1 second. Let's close this one. Let me remove the active class right here. Now let's try this one. Now it showed the right one. Now it showed the right one. I put the active class again just so we can continue working. Now we can start toggling the zoom in and zoom out. So let's get started. But before we do that, we need to remove. But let's say if I click this one now, it refreshes. We need to stop that. So remember, we grab them, options. I will minimize this one, minimize the function. So right here, option links, that's what we call them. So in options links, that for each is an array. Each link, we say link, add event listener. When listening, the click, now click, pressing the E, and we can just instead of adding all of this, I say E, that prevents defaults, and you can click it, I won't do anything. Now we grab this one also, so this won't work, that download won't work. So all we have to do, go back up here, option link, instead of array from all the children, remove, you can say array from this, query, select the all, and they all had the class called option link, except for this one. So I'm gonna work by this. Now it's working, the download is working. So be sure to go back and update this one. Now let's talk about the zoom in and zoom out effect. Zoom in and out effect. The way this will work, we will manipulate this full view, we will manipulate the transform scale, so to increase it and then decrease it. So what we do, so we say zoom and option, that add event listener. Now listen to the click event, click, it's a function. This time we use function and arrow function. I will explain why using the normal function. Now remember, by default we had a zoom level on 1. Let me just open this. Now we have our zoom right here, the data zoom level 1 for both of them. Now we had the increment, how much we want to increase every time we click this. That's what this is for, 0.05. So every time we click, we're gonna grab a zoom level, and then we're gonna increase it by that number again. So zoom level plus zoom and increment. Now let me just cancel like this, that log, zoom level, save it. Now once I click this, now 1.05, 1.1, and so on and so forth, by this huge number. Okay, and it goes on, I can see. Now there's a better way to do this. Plus equals is the same thing. So if I save this again, and we will the same result, as you can see down here. So that's the first step. Now second step, we need to update these two, both of them. Okay, so I say this, which we're referring to this zoom in option, the one we're clicking on, this that set attribute data zoom level, and then go and update it again, zoom level. So what do we get? So let's inspect. So now plus, I can see increases. I get all this real number, large number. I can see. So the reason why I use the function right here is because this keyword, the arrow function does not have this keyword, so it won't work. So if I console log this and click this, it point us to the zoom in element right here, the anchor element where the class to zoom in. But let's say I remove the function and put the arrow key, the arrow function, save it and click. Yeah, it does not have it. Let me comment this. It point out to the window objects. That's why I use the regular function for this one, because I want to use this keyword inside here instead of writing zoom element zoom and option all over the place. I just use this keyword. Okay, so now we're gonna update the zoom out also, this one zoom out also. So once we zoom in and we start clicking the zoom out, then we automatically trigger it to know where we were, so it can start reducing the zoom level from that point. So the zoom out option again, just gonna be the same thing with this one. Paste this here. I'm gonna remove this one, save this, inspect. Now and click it. Now both of them are updating, as you can see. And rather our zoom out option, the class list. Now remove the class disable. The reason why this class disable, I'll spell it correctly. Now I have no class to it, but if you take a look right here, let me refresh this. Let me just zoom out this. Now you see this would have disabled. You won't be able to click it no more. Okay, so we want to make sure if we zoom out completely and we are disabled, once we start clicking the zoom in, we had the option to zoom out again. You see? Okay, so that's what this is doing. Now we need to do the real work so they can actually zoom in. So we're gonna grab our full view. Again, the full view is this full view, that style, transform, and scale. I'm manipulate the scale. We use a template arrow, so put $, these two crib bracket, and put the zoom level right here. Save this. Now let's take a look right here, our zoom view right here. Now let's see what happens when we start clicking this. I say transform scale 1.05, and then it's continue increasing. Now the distance a little bit too small, but you understand what we're doing. Now we want to, let me make this one a little bit bigger. Let's say we want to stop, we don't want to just zoom in all the way, so we need to put a condition to see if you will reach certain level, we need to stop. So say if, now you can choose whatever level you want. If zoom level is greater or equals to 1.4, that's what I chose. I will say zoom level equal to zoom level minus 0.01. Now let me make a full size so you can see. So we are this. Now let's start clicking that. It's 1.05 now. Let me bring this one to bottom right here. Now 1.2. Now I keep increasing because I forgot to finish the code. So if this, then we need to grab again this class list, the other disable. Now so we won't be able to click on it anymore, and then after that we return. We start securing all this down here. So let's try that again. Hopefully it works this time. So we have a full view right here, as in continue increasing. So we are now 1.15. Now it won't work anymore, because if we click again it will go for the 1.4. okay, so that's how that works. Now we need to do the same thing for the zoom out. So you can just copy this, and we're gonna change this one for zoom in to zoom out, and this the plus minus, and this is gonna be the same thing, but instead of zoom out here it's gonna be zoom in, and this also zoom in. And here I'll do less than 0.6, and here instead of minus my plus, and the rest comes the same. Again, I can tell by now without repeating ourselves. So my challenge to you to you is create a function that will combine both of these together. Okay, so if I save this, now let's try it. Increase. Now we start moving. Now decrease. Now we stop again. Okay, so that's what these two are doing. And once we click this, now we have a problem. See, it's still zoom in. Let's say I go back down, still zoom out. What we want to do is that once we click this, we want to go back to normal again. Zoom level need to be in 1 again. Okay, so how do we do that? Remember, every time we click this one, we call our store Lightbox. Okay, so first thing we need to update that function. So right here on the bottom right here, it says zoom level goes 1. Save this. Now let's see. Increase. Now it's still zooming. No, not here. Sorry. We need to update that right here first. The zoom level goes 1, and then right here also the change gallery zoom level goes 1. So increase. This is not updating. Yeah, I know why it's not updating. Remember, we manipulating the transform, so every time we click, the transform is still there, as you can see. So we need to remove this transform. So let's go back. Now we can do that inside of the function. That's what I forgot to do. So right here we can just grab the reset zoom, say full view, that style, that transform, and we set it to empty. So now let's try it. Hopefully it works. Now click next. Now I went back. Now there's no more right here. Zoom out, click next, and then went back to normal. Okay, so that's our zoom in and zoom out. Now the next we're working on is the full screen. Now it won't be totally full screen because there won't be any way to close out, so we're just going to, let me bring this one here, now to cover this side right here except for here. So from here down here, from here to here. Okay, so let's do that. So full screen, that's our full screen option, the other event listener. Click, and this one we use the arrow function. First we want to grab the height of this, so make sure when everything is spanned it doesn't cover this. So say counts option header height goes options header, action header, the client height. Here we grab the height. If I cancel like this, you will see cancel the log options, header height. I click it, it's a 31 pixel. So let's see. Yep, it's a 31 pixel, as you can see right there. 1415 by 31. The 1415 is the width and the 31 is the height. Now inside the CSS, I create a class called full screen right here. Full screen. Once our content, pop-up content had this class full screen, we can manipulate the full view. Set the max width to be 100%, max height to be 100%, and I'll remove the border radius. Okay, so we say full view container, which is what contain this inside the container and the image inside the full view. So this the container and the full view right here. This is what we want to manipulate. This is what we receive the full screen class. So review class list, class not client, not clients, class list, that toggle full view. Not full view, full screen. Save this. Now let's try that. Now click it, full screen. I see it's already working. Now we need to do a lot more manipulation. So as when I had our full screen, the full view, we want to set its width to be 100 view per width, VW, and the height to be the full view per height minus this height right here. Okay, that's only when they have the class full screen. Okay, so I say if view full view container class list what is a client class list that contain full screen we grab a full view, style, change its width will be a string 100 view per width. In a folder, again full view, style, the height, it's gonna be calc and to backtick calc. Use a calc function because it can accept two different units. This case we want to say 100 view per height minus our height here, which is in pixel. Okay, so it'll be input the variable option header height, and then outside here full pixel. Then I'm gonna update our zoom level to be 1, and then I'm gonna grab the full view again, style transform, then scale, zoom level. Save this. Now let's try it. I see. Get error, full view style transform is not a function. Now let's see that. Oh yeah, of course it's not, because now I see. I took the full screen width and height minus this height right here, and I click again, but there's a small slightly error right here. Take a look right here. This is what we adding everything to. So if I click this, these stay right here. When I click back, they remain right here. Okay, so we need to do something about that. So all we have to do, if it doesn't have the full screen class, so we add the else clause. All we have to do is full view, that style width, set it to empty string, and we do the same thing for the height also. So let's look at that. Now I added everything. So that's it for the full screen. But let's say we have full screen and we click the next, we still full screen. Okay, we still full screen, so we need to do something about it. Okay, go back to the function store Lightbox, and right here, down here, and say reset full screen, because we're using this every time we click on the new gallery or when we press this arrow key. So down here, all we have to do, just simple, you can just grab these two, paste it right here. So let's try this full screen, everything about normal, and then we're gonna remove the class. So full string container, the class list, that remove, full screen, save it. Now let's try that again. Click next, and we're back to normal. Okay, now we can just increase this. Now we can't really go anywhere, but now next we can shrink it. You can see, so it's working. Now we need to find a way to close out of this, because we can't really close it. So go back inside your JavaScript, especially the HTML, and remove this active class. If I click this one, it shows. Now we need to find a way to get out of this one. So the way we want to do it is clicking on this overlay right here, so we can get out of it. Okay, so go back into the JavaScript, at the bottom right here, say closing gallery. Says Lightbox Popup the add event listener. Listen to the mouse up event. Print arrow function, pass an event, and say constant target. We want to know what we click on. Dot target. We give us what we click on. So we gotta check if our target contain the Lightbox pop-up. So if we click on this one, because that's what I had active right now, it must remove it. If it does not contain this one, then we should not do anything. I want to make sure the one we click on is this one. So say if target, when I say if it does not have the pop-up, then don't do anything. Don't remove the active class. Target the class list that contain gallery, lights, box, pop up. If it doesn't have a so we negate it. All we have to do, return. If it does, then Lightbox pop-up class list that remove active. Save this. Now click this. I click on the image, nothing happened. Click on the caption, nothing happens. Arrows, nothing happen. But as soon we click on this, now it's not removing. So let's see what's going on. Ah, they remove it. So let me try that again. Click it. Oh yeah, I know why it's not moving, because this content, yeah, it's all the way over here. As you can see the blue, the light blue. So if I click right here, it will remove it. Okay, click right here, it will remove it. I click here, it won't remove it because we had the option right here. I click right here, it removes it. Okay, so it's working. So let's say if I have like full screen, okay, it remove. If I click this again, everything still work. The full screen is removed, so everything works just fine. So that's it for the tutorial. I thank you very much for sticking by and watching it. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you have not already done so, I will appreciate it if you like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you won't miss my next tutorial. Thank you again for your time for watching it, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.